Hey guys, hey! So as per requested, my Let Me Explain That series will continue with so now you're home recuperating. Let me tell you how that works. So again, this is just my experiences. I can't tell you exactly what it's going to be like for you, but as I have now had tonsils, gastric bypass, I'm tired, that's good. Tonsils, gastric bypass, gallbladder, panaculectomy, band, removal of band. So I've had 6 so far. I know a thing or two about coming home and recovery and whatnot, so I can tell you roughly what it may be, what it may not be for you. So the first thing I could tell you is that recovering in the hospital for how many days that you're going to be in there, it's not going to be fun, but a lot of times it's necessary. So we'll get into that first. The way I personally remember being in the hospital is that, number one, I'm super groggy and I don't remember much. As long as I'm on the pain pump, I do not remember very much. Now, for me, I'm on Dilaudid. I don't do well with morphine because it makes me super itchy and makes me really nauseous. So, the typical drugs I normally get when I've had surgery is Dilaudid pain pump, the IV Tylenol, and then Toradol. Toradol is something that you only get in the hospital. It is very rare for them to give you any of that once you leave, but it does work for a very short amount of time. So Toradol, and then they will try to switch you to oral medication before you leave, obviously, because you're not going to go home with an IV. And I'll get to that part too, because some people do. So they will switch you over to your oral medication probably within the next day if they can manage it. If you're not having any complications, if you're not feeling too bad, they will try to switch you off the pain pump, if you have one, to the oral within a day or so. So typically on day 2 or 3 for me, my normal stay for a surgery is usually about 3 to 4 days. I have been up to a week, but normally it's about 3 or 4 days. And usually by day 2, 2.5, 3, I'm already on being weaned off of the pain pump and being put on my normal cocktail of roxicodone, which works for me better than better than anything else that I've tried, and oral Tylenol. So I prefer the liquids. A lot of times they will give you just the pills. Some people like pills. I don't. I like the instant, going into your bloodstream. That's what I prefer. I've had the oral and the pills, and I don't like it. So I would rather just down my liquid medication and then I'm good to go. Because within 10 minutes, I'm already starting to feel it. And if I'm having to wait for a pill to digest with my slow digestion system anyway, forget it. So it could take 30-40 minutes if I try to take a pill of some sort. So now that I've told you about your pain medication, so that's what they're going to do. You're going to have different IVs. You're going to have your pain medication, of course. They're going to give you medication for reflux, which could be omeprazole, Nexium. Sometimes they give you Levinox shots or some kind of blood thinner shots that they'll come in once or twice a day, depending on how big you are and the kind of doctor you have and the kind of surgery you have. blood thinners. I was on blood thinners through 3 of my surgeries, and that was the gastric bypass when I came out of the gallbladder, and then my band over bypass just for a few days on that last one. I'll talk more about that here in just a second. I guess this one's going to be pain and then coming home with your medication. So I got lots to say. So bear with me. I'm sorry. But I think this is relative information. So with that being said, if you have any other kind of comorbidities like diabetes, they'll come in there and do your sugar. They'll come in there and do your finger sticks every day. If you have a lot of other thyroid medicine, they give you your thyroid medicine in the mornings. You have to be super sure that whoever's going to be with you is making sure they're giving you all your medicine. So like when I was in there for my RNY, the first couple of days they didn't give me my thyroid medicine because they were busy giving me other stuff, and I had to have Matthew remind them. So you may want to have a list of stuff that you take if you're going to be in the hospital more than a day or so and you know it, or it just happens to be that way. You have a list of your normal medications, and you need to give that to the nurse or the doctor or whoever you see and be like, this is what I normally take. I need this to be given to me in the hospital. Now, sometimes they'll allow you to take it like if you're stock from home, so you can bring your medications with you, but some doctors are sticklers and don't want you to do that and want them to prescribe it on their own, or sometimes they just don't think you need it. So you need to make sure, don't be popping stuff without asking somebody. Don't be popping stuff without telling somebody, and I took this, or it's time for this. Now, you're going to sleep a whole hell of a lot. The medication you're taking is going to make you groggy. It's going to make you sleepy. It's going to make you kind of foggy. So one of the nicest thing for me is that I told my day and night nurses that if I'm sleeping too much, please wake me up. Please make sure that I'm up more than asleep, and to help me walk around and do stuff. So if my husband, let's say my husband was working, like when I went in for dehydration, my husband was working and couldn't be with me during the day because he works at night. He couldn't be with me at night. He was working, sleeping and working. So he would have to, so I would have to rely on myself for getting up and, taking the medication and stuff. I'd be so groggy and sleepy. So I had told my day and night nurses to help me kind of wake me up and get me walking and moving around, or else I'm just going to lay in the bed and sleep. So there are a lot of things you can do to help you while you're in the hospital. Another wonderful thing is that, be nice to your nurses. Guys, I know you don't feel good. I know that this is a crappy situation, and, you're scared and your family's scared and you want to be home. You're not going to get home any quicker by being a jerk. I'm sorry. That's what I was going to tell you guys. Okay, so this video does not come out the way I was going to start, but I have so much to say in between that, so I'm gonna try. And I know that I'm talking kind of fast, so I hope you guys are getting what I'm trying to say. So your nurses are awesome. Okay, they are your lifeline. They are there when nobody else is. They do all the dirty shit. They wipe your ass. They pick up your puke. They help bathe you. They do everything for you. So you need to be their best friends. You need to be super appreciative. And you know what? When you click that call bell and, that somebody eventually answers, you are not the only person on that floor. I need to seriously jam that in there. You are not the only patient some of these people are seeing, obviously, throughout the day. So you usually have a nurse and their assistant that comes around with them. That's usually another nurse, or it might be a nurse's aide. And they will get to you as soon as possible. Now, in the weird case that you happen to have a really shitty nurse, or you might be in a really shitty hospital, or a really shitty situation, where that's when you talk to the patient advocacy, because you can call patient advocacy and have them come up the next day and be like, look, I'm not getting taken care of. Don't wait till you leave the hospital and be like, oh, well, I didn't like the way I was treated. If you don't like the way you're treated, you need to talk to me. You need to tell your doctor, number one, then you need to talk to patient advocacy and get that shit sorted out. Don't wait a week later and be like, oh, well, I didn't happen to like that last week. If something goes on that you don't like, you need to deal with it ASAP. If your family sees something they don't like, they need to go out there and say something. But don't be a jerk, okay? Because, like I said, these people work 12, 16-hour shifts. They're dealing with sometimes 10 some odd patients a night, if not more. And these people have a range of different horrible things wrong with them and medicine they need. They need to go to the bathroom and they've thrown up. They've pooped their pants. They need to go walking. Their family's coming. They're hungry. So be a little more understanding that, yes, your world revolves around you, but these are these people's jobs, and I guarantee you the nicer you are to them, the nicer they're going to be for you. So every time I go in there, I tell them, look, as long as you got me on Dilaudid, I am a jerk. I apologize 100% right now. I even have it written on the board, because you have a board across from your bed. As long as you got me on the pain pump, I have literally no idea what the hell I'm talking about. I'm a big fat jerk. Please get me off the pain pump as soon as we can. So as soon as my pain level has been as soon as my pain level is good, like where I'm closer to a 5 or 6, we get me off that pain pump, because in other words, I have no idea what's going on. I've lost my damn mind, and I'm a big fat jerk. So, I try to get off that as soon as possible. So, tangent over on that part. Be honest with your surgeon. Be honest with the people coming in checking on you. Don't be, oh, well, I didn't want to bother anybody, but, I went to the bathroom earlier and I was really dizzy, or, I was eating something and I didn't want to bother anybody, but I felt some pain, or, whatnot. You need to be super honest with everybody that comes in there. Don't just be like, my pain level's a 10, like every minute they come in there, because then they can't help you. If you're constantly like, oh, I'm dying because you want more pain medicine, you need to be honest. Is your pain actually, you need to understand the pain scale, okay? 1 is you're all happy-go-lucky, there's nothing in the world wrong, 0 to 1. And then it goes on from there till like a bear has ripped your head off, and then it is the worst pain you've ever had. Your eyes are bleeding on the floor, and somebody's ripped your skeleton out of your meats. So I mean, there's a whole lot that from 0 to 10, but you got to be honest. Now, I know, because you're in pain and you're scared, you may be more tempted to be like, oh God, I'm always at a 6, but they can't gauge how to help you and how much medicine to give you if you constantly tell them that you're at a 6 or a 7 or an 8. Eventually, they're going to run out and max out of what they can give you. And you don't want that. So what you want to do is you want to be like, okay, did that medicine help me? Yes, it took some of the edge off, but I'm still in a lot of pain. Can we up the dose? Because there's only going to be a max amount of medication they can give you. And my damn nose is itching because I took my medication, and that's what Roxicodone does. It makes my nose itch. So I'm not doing that on purpose. But yeah, so you want to be super honest with the people coming in there. If you're nauseous, if you're sick to your stomach at all, if, you haven't been eating and drinking, if, you need to go to the bathroom and whatnot, but be nice. They'll be nice to you. Be honest, and they will get you out of there as soon as possible. But don't, and I stress this, please don't go home if you think that you're not ready to go home, because you don't want to end up right back in the hospital. If you are unable to get down food and drink, don't wait until you're home 3 days later and end up in the hospital. Like me, every single solitary time. So if you're not able to get down that water, if you're not able to sip all day long, don't wait until they've discharged you, and then you go home and then end up back in there 2 or 3 days later when your kidneys are starting to shut down. You don't want that. I promise you 100% that is not what you want to do. So you need to make sure that you're able to drink You need to make sure you're able to get in whatever they've asked you to with no problems, and be honest with your surgeon when they're coming, like, do you want to go home today? Yes. Are you able to get down your food and drink? No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Because the hydration is awesome when you have an IV in. Remember, that IV comes out, and that's liters of fluid they're giving you. So as soon as that IV is out, and you're not constantly sipping, and you go home and start just sleeping the day away because you got your pain medication and you're just relaxing, you're going to end up in the hospital another couple days, or worse, you're going to fall, you're going to hit your head, you're going to be sick. You don't need that. So you need to make sure before they let you go that you're able to drink. So I'm going to say that one more time. If you have weight loss surgery and you're going home, you need to make sure you're able to get in your water. It doesn't matter about the protein right now. Protein can come in a few days when you start adding stuff into your food system. The most important thing right now is for you to drink. So when they send your ass home, you need to be able 64 ounces, which is what you're told to drink. 64 ounces is what you need to try to get in. More if you can. So, I'm not saying you should be able to guzzle, okay? So I'm not telling you got to be able to guzzle, because I know it's going to be swollen. I know you're not going to feel all that great. I know you'll be sleepy, but you have to have someone wake you up when you get home on a constant, and make sure that you're getting in enough water, because I'm telling you from personal experience, I come home on the Roxy, and I'm sleeping, 4 or 5 hours. My husband doesn't bother to wake me up, and I get dehydrated, and my little happy ass goes right back in. They can't get an IV. I'm admitted every time, except for this one because I got smart. So be honest with the nurses. Be honest with the doctor when they ask you, are you getting in enough fluid? No, I'm not. You may need another day or so in there. And if you need another day in there, that's what you need, because you don't want to have to come back later. That's the issue. You don't want to have to come back in later. It'll be worse the second time around. It'll be more time the second time around, and you'll feel even worse. So that's that. So you've gotten home, you've been released, you're home, you have to have alarms, you have to have people who might need to wait on you, but you need to have a water bottle, a can of, your little waters or whatever. You need to have that in hand the whole time, especially for the first month of surgery, water, because your body isn't telling you that you're thirsty. Your head isn't telling you that you're thirsty. Nothing is telling you that you're thirsty. You have to tell you that you're thirsty. So that's a huge, huge deal, is that, you need to have constant alarms waking you up, or people waking you up. If you're home alone, you need to have alarms set or something, because dehydration is horrible. It will make you feel exhausted. It'll make you feel tired. You won't get all your medicine in on time. You won't be able to start taking your vitamins on time. It's going to set you back. And that's one of the number one complaints I get from people right out of surgery, is that they had to go right back in the hospital because of dehydration. And I keep pounding on that, because people, oh yeah, no, I'm good. Oh, well, I'm in the hospital again. Oh no, yeah, I can't drink that much. It doesn't matter if you can drink that much. If it takes you an hour, you still need to try. You still need to get it in. Do not grab a straw, because I know people are like, but you can never have straw skin. Yes, you can after you've healed, but you just had your stomach worked on, your intestines worked on. So everything is really swollen to begin with. Drinking with a straw will just add air into your system, and it's just going to be painful, and it's going to that means less water and stuff you're going to get in there to begin with. So don't do it. Don't do it. But you sippy, walk. Make sure that you're walking around, guys, because you're not going to have the little compression leggy things like you do in the hospital. So every 2 hours at least, get up, walk around, go to the bathroom, whatnot, come back, sit back down. Get up to go make yourself some protein pudding. Get up as many times, go to the bathroom. If you're not peeing multiple times per day, you need to understand you are probably dehydrated, and you need to go and talk to your bariatric coordinator or the nurse or your surgeon's office and let them know. You need to monitor how many times you're peeing per day. So if your pee is dark, if your pee is brown, which I've had, I'm telling you, if you're not producing much at all, that is an issue. So, you need to not be afraid to call your surgeon's office. You need to not be afraid to tell them something is wrong. If you're feeling really nauseous, if you're just not feeling good in general, you need to be okay with talking to somebody and making sure that your needs are being taken care of, because it is so important in this stage. So coming home is really, really important to have somebody there, at least for the first night or two, just to get you kind of acclimated, just to get you kind of settled in. I always preferred to stay downstairs on the couch where I was next to the kitchen. I was next to my small bathroom down there. The couch and everything is really easy. A lot of times during your first surgeries, you're not able to lay down straight for a while because they go through your muscles, and you want to lay in a lounge chair, in a recliner. This one I was able to lay down with. I don't know what the difference between this one was and my lap band, but my lap band I was not able to lay down straight for a while. You may not. You could just try it out. I'm still not able to lay on my side, so I still have to lay on my back. But some people prefer to sleep sitting up in a recliner, or sitting up in bed with a wedge pillow, or a bunch of pillows behind you. I have a ton of pillows behind me. Keep dogs, cats, animals, kids off of you. They're going to tell you not to lift anything over 10 pounds. There's a reason for that. You have internal stitches. All right, you're not supposed to be carrying anything really heavy. You're not supposed to be doing what I did, which is just running around thinking I'm Superwoman, doing everything in its grandma, running around doing 2.5 miles like 4 days after surgery. So, take it easy, relax, breathe. I know that people have to get back to their lives, and you're worried that you're not going to have enough time to recuperate. But if you try to force it and you're not taking your time, you are asking for complications. You are asking for things to go wrong. So you really do need that time off of work, that time that you're supposed to be recuperating. You need to be able to relax, and you need to be able to recuperate. So Gene Pro, again, saying it again, probably say it 50,000 times. I do not count as 30 grams of protein, but I do count it as 15 grams of protein, and I put it in everything that I could put it in. It's 98 calories per tablespoon, 15 grams of protein. You put it in your water, you could put it in your coffee, you could put it in your shake, whatever you're drinking throughout the day. If you just want to start getting your protein in, that would be a really good way to do it. And a little bit of extra added calories. I even put it in my oatmeal. I put it in God knows anything liquidy that I can stuff it in, I do. I don't microwave with it, so what I do is whatever's hot, I add it to after it's come out of the microwave. It don't cook with it. It's not a good idea. And to me, it is odorless, tasteless. It is. I put it in my yogurts just to get extra protein. I know this is a super long vlog, guys, and I appreciate if you guys actually made it this way. If you enjoy these types of videos, if you enjoy me explaining stuff and you haven't subscribed yet, take the time to click the little button down here and subscribe, because I make these videos all the time. I like helping people, and this is what I enjoy doing, is interacting with my community and giving back as much as I've given. So if you haven't subscribed yet, clicky down there. I appreciate it. All right, last thing I'm going to talk about, guys, and then I'll be quiet because it's almost 25 minutes in. OMG. Is that you need to make sure that your incisions look good You know, some people have staples, some people have open wounds, some people have glue. I have the derma glue. I think it's called Derma Bond is what they use. And they're just like a little thin thing of glue on top of them. That always works well for me. I know some people get staples. I don't have any of those staples, so I can't tell you how that feels because I've never had staples. I know there are other people who have and gone back like a week later to get those taken out, and it doesn't feel all that great. So I'm happy I've only had the glue, and I've never had an infection in my actual wounds. I've never had any problems with it. You know, a week later during my shower, you know, they start to peel up, and I just peel them off when they start flaking off. No big deal. If it's red, if it's hot, if it's oozing, you need to talk to your surgeon. You need to go and talk to your bariatric team. Be like, my upper left wound is oozing, or it's red around it, or it's really hot. If you have a fever, you need to get that checked out. You know, make sure that you've got a temperature thingy. And just make sure you're drinking, walking, and getting as much water as you possibly can in. Okay, so that's just this part. I will go back and make another one for more tips on this. I hope this helps you guys out. Let me know what you guys think about these videos. If you could comment down below, give me a big old thumbs up, tell me I'm doing all right. And let me know if you have any other kind of videos you'd like me to explain about the process. And I love your beautiful, gorgeous, amazing faces. If you made it this long, I appreciate you. Mwah! Bye!